All right, fellas. We just saw the highly anticipated return of Inoue, and it went how pretty much everyone predicted, with Goodman pulling out and Kim stepping in. We weren't expecting fireworks, but Inoue certainly did deliver. This promotion has been fascinating, so I want to get down to the bottom of it. How did we end up in this situation? How was the fight itself? And of course, what is next for Inoue? What can we see from the pound-for-pound great over the course of 2025? But before we dive in, I've got some exciting news to share. For the first time in CL history, we'll be going live on this channel next week for Benavidez versus Morrell. We'll be reacting to the fight in real time and breaking down everything boxing. Make sure to tune in on February 1st at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have the fight up on one screen and the stream up on the other. It's the ultimate watch party you don't want to miss. But now, back to Inoue. This fight's promotion has been a bit of a disaster. Of course, it was originally meant to be Inoue versus Sam Goodman last month. And if you've watched this channel in the past, you're probably quite aware, even though I'm an Aussie, of my lack of love for Sam Goodman, which basically stems from the way his whole camp has acted since this fight became a possibility. To remind you quickly of what happened, Goodman wriggled his way into a mandatory position, defeating no one incredible. He rocked up to the Tokyo Dome match for Inoue against Neri, went up to Inoue in the ring after the fight, and demanded him to fight him next or vacate the belts. So, of course, this fight was next, right? No. Goodman then ducked it for a warm-up fight against a bloke who had never fought outside of Thailand and still didn't put up a good performance against him. But finally, after this, he signed for the Inoue fight, and it was set to be in Tokyo in late December. All looked promising until the last spar where he cut himself. Now, I don't think they would do this on purpose, but really the last spar, it just doesn't look great. But they didn't get out of it so quickly. The bout was reorganized and was meant to give enough time for the cut to heal. But somehow, they reopened the cut even worse and pulled out of the fight completely. Since pulling out, it's been said that Goodman will need at least 6 months off and plastic surgery to heal the cut properly. But somehow, I'm pretty sure they retained their mandatory position, which is pretty wild to me. If they truly wanted to smoke, they shouldn't have ducked it in the first place for a warm-up fight. There was zero reason for that warm-up. They should have had the fight in September. So, that left Inoue without an opponent. Now, Inoue typically only fights the best, yet on a few days' notice, that's kind of hard to find. And also, with that last fight, the Doheny fight, he basically had to take that as a stay busy because Sam Goodman was too busy with his warm-up. Because of this quick turnaround, it's hard to find anybody exceptional with the week and a half they had. Yet, it's a credit to them that they managed to find somebody and keep the card alive. That replacement? Yoon Kim, a 32-year-old South Korean boxer. Not fantastic on paper. Nowhere near world-class. He was just an easy switch. That's the main reason they chose him. He has no standout opponents, and the only thing of note about him was that he apparently went by the fighting nickname of Pieweather, which could be one of the worst of all time. Like, I reckon whoever gave him that nickname did it on purpose just to make him seem incredibly lame. But a replacement was found, the card was saved, and fight week was as normal as ever. Nothing really to talk about there, except for Inoue looking a little bit weight drained. The match itself went about as well as expected. Inoue seemed in control throughout and had the fight at his own pace. Obviously, the Kim camp did try to have some sort of a game plan with him switching from orthodox to southpaw to try to trouble Inoue, which is something that has given him a bit of trouble in the past. But for the most part, Inoue was outlanding and outthrowing his opponent. And it all eventuated in that 4th round KO, which happened just after Kim asked for Inoue to bring more. And then came the big shot, which put him to the canvas, and he was unable to make the count. What's next? Now, of course, the question turns to, what's next for Inoue? He has so many options. With his agreement with Rizin, he's set to go on a bit of a tour. It's been rumored for the last 6 months or so that we'll see him back in the States, which most likely will happen. And with the Rizin agreement, we're probably going to see him in a card somewhere in the U.S. In terms of the United States fight, I'm not one who criticizes Inoue for never really leaving Japan because simply he has. He's fought in the States multiple times and has even fought in Scotland. He's gotten around a little bit. Most criticism stems from that American ideal of, oh, you must prove yourself in America. But we don't hold American fighters to the same standards. Like, we don't hear anyone complain that Crawford has never fought outside the States. And honestly, Inoue doesn't need to crack the American market. He's a national hero in Japan. Why would he trade stadiums and big paydays for Thursday night small venue top-rank cards? Who in their right mind would? Yet, obviously, he wants to silence a few people and go back to the States once again. While also, Bob Arum, as his promoter, would have a bit of a push, and he wants him to fight in Las Vegas. Now, Inoue has made it clear that he plans to fight 3 more times in 2025, and I firmly believe he'll remain at super bantamweight for the duration of the year. As for potential opponents, I bet on his next 3 fights being against Sam Goodman, Murajan Akhmadaliyev, Alan Picasso. Each matchup presents its own unique storylines and challenges, and they all seem like logical steps for Inoue to take before considering a move up in weight. That said, I'd be pretty shocked if Inoue decides to move up in weight this year. While it's inevitable that he'll eventually rise to featherweight, I think he'll stay put for now and continue to solidify his dominance at super bantamweight. The Saudis, however, may already be looking ahead with a potential Nick Ball fight on the horizon for 2026. But for now, though, Inoue's focus will most likely remain on cementing his legacy at 122 pounds.